All right, guys, well, I'm back today with another high value and budget optics review that kind of comes in at the mid-tier or the lower mid-tier category, and that is Tribe Optics. Now, Optics Planet was nice enough to send this one out to the channel for test and evaluation, and they've also included a code 704TAC or 704TAC for 5% off your Optics Planet order. Now, what they sent me was the Tribe Defense First Focal Plane 3 to 18 optic, and they also have available on their website the 6 to 24 and the 4 to 16, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the 4 to 16 because I feel like that is going to be another high value option along with this 3 to 18. And if you're unfamiliar with optics and you're kind of new to optics in general, a 3 to 18 is fairly new in the high value category. When I first started reviewing guns and optics about 7 or 8 years ago, a lot of times you do the 3 to 9, the 4 to 16, or the 4 to 14, or even the 4 to 12, and then the 6 to 24, and those were your three choices. You wanted mainly, 100 to 200 yards, you do the 3 to 9, and that would be even great up to about 50 yards for deer hunting, things like that. The 4 to 16 was kind of mid-range, pushing it out a little bit further, and the 6 to 24 was primarily long-range. The 3 to 18 gives you the versatility to shoot up close at like 25 and 50 yards for deer hunting, yet stretch it out for precision shooting well at 1,000 yards with the 18 power setting, and I love 3 to 18 scopes for that versatility. With that being said, you're going to pay more for them, and the MSRP on this guy is going to be well over $500. So when you take that into consideration, when you're looking at optics, you got to think, do I need this scope for the money? The good thing, though, is the sale price of the 3 to 18 on Optics Planet website is actually 33% off, so it's going to be $400. Then I've got the code 704TAC to save you 5%. Now, on the other hand, the MSRP of the 4 to 16, if you were primarily going to be using this for something like hunting, that's going to be a little bit cheaper, and I also think that's a great option when you consider this scope. Now, obviously, you have to listen to the specs and features, but I do want to hit the price point so you know what you're getting into before the entire overview. So the MSRP of the 4 to 16 is going to be between $410 to $500 depending on the configuration, but that is going to come out at $272 for the black color and $288 for the tan color, again for the 4 to 16. And there are some other variations that you can look at on Optics Planet's website, but in a nutshell, if you're going to be just using this for like deer hunting, the 4 to 16 is going to be a great option, closer to around that $250-ish price point after my code 704TAC. But if you want to take it out for a little bit longer range shooting, yet still be able to use it up close, the 3 to 18 is going to be a great option. 6 to 24 is going to be a little bit more affordable as well, definitely under $300, and those are the three configurations of this optic we're talking about today. Now again, they all have slightly different features, so you want to check out each independent link, but a lot of this is going to transition, but let's dig into the 3 to 18. And the basic specs and features is this is a 3 to 18 that has a 30mm tube, and I'm using the Monstrum Tactical precision rings that are available for very great prices. If you're looking for a good series of budget rings that won't break the bank, that absolutely work, definitely check them out. I've got a full review video on them, and that's probably all I'm going to say about it in this review. You guys can check out that full video. The other thing about this is this is a 50mm objective lens to help gather light, and the 30mm tube does a good job of transitioning that light to your eye, so it works out incredibly well. And I love the overall just basic specs and features, feel, and size of this optic considering the price. And this one also is a first focal plane optic, and as you can see in the intro, as you zoom in and out, the optic and the reticle actually zooms in and out, gets smaller and larger. That means it's effective at every single zoom level, which is really key when you consider bullet drop compensation and then calculating the drop of a bullet or distance or ranging your target effectively. So those are going to be things you want to consider as well, because a lot of times those MOA hash marks the MOA hash marks on a second focal plane optic are most of the time only going to be valid at the maximum setting. Now, there are some optics where it's valid at the middle setting and twice the maximum setting, but with a first focal plane optic like this one, those hash marks are going to be 1 MOA or 5 MOA, depending on what you're looking at every single zoom level, which makes it perfect for ranging and bullet drop compensation. So I really like that about this optic. The turrets on this guy are non-locking turrets, so you can accidentally reach up and bump them. I don't find that to be a problem. They are return to zero turrets, so you unloosen this and you loosen this up and you swap that back to zero, tighten it back down, so you have your zero right there. The clicks are rather spongy. They are a little bit audible. I mean, it's not the best clicks in the world, but they're definitely not that big of a deal. I'm just not going to write home about the turrets on this optic. That's where I'd like to see a little bit of improvement. Better detents, locking turrets, cap turrets if you're going to leave them non-locking, something a little bit more than this, but they do a good job, but nothing to write home about. Now the zoom lever is incredibly smooth. It's got some nice sweeping cuts, and then it's got a little lever built in, so I like that. Super easy to go from the 3 to 18. The eye box and eye relief is also good on this optic. That means how far and close you can be, left, right, up, and down is very forgiving on this optic. A lot of times with the 3 to 18, you start sacrificing glass clarity and a few other things like eye box and eye relief to get the price down to where you want it. But this one doesn't really sacrifice much at all. It does a very good job in that category, so the glass is very clear, and I do like that reticle selection. Now, we've already talked about the reticle being a first focal plane reticle, but as you see in the intro, it's a duplex style, meaning a large leader line in, and then that disappears when it zooms in because it gets larger, and then it gives you some fine lines for precision shooting. Now, I like this for hunting, and I feel like that's where this optic's really going to shine, and that's the same case for the 4 to 16 as well. So if you've got it at the 4 power setting or the 3 power setting in this configuration, and you're tracking something across a field, whether it be a deer or a coyote, something like that, you want a wide field of view to see where they're going, see your surrounding area to make sure you're taking a safe shot. Those leader lines guide your eyes into the fine lines to make a precise shot. But then when you zoom in, those disappear and those fine lines get larger. And it also has a center cross section without anything in the middle. No dot, no chevron, no anything. So you can look right through it and make sure you're hitting the target. Now, is this going to be great for precision shooting at 1,000 yards? Probably not, but this is going to be perfect for a hunting application because you're going to see your shot placement, and that's going to allow you to get the correct shot placement on your target. And I feel like this is going to be a great hunting optic, and that's where this is really going to shine. It's a step above your basic duplex. It gives you more information in the reticle, but it's not overly cluttered with like a Christmas tree, windage, range estimations, just a lot of little extras, but that don't clutter up the reticle system, making it perfect for a hunting application. So in summary, honestly, for where I live in North Carolina, the 4 to 16 would be the way I would personally choose because you're going to save yourself a lot of money, about $130, and maybe even a little bit more on the 4 to 16. You're going to get plenty of capability up close at 50 yards, all the way out to 500 or 600 yards, which is probably one of the longest shots you'll ever take, and honestly, probably not more than 100 or 200 yards when you're hunting in North Carolina. I just don't see that being feasible. Now, granted, I'm not like a huge hunter at all, so don't take hunting advice from me, but what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've read, what I've looked at, that's going to be the effective range of a lot of hunting in this area. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below about what hunting optics you like to see. I don't generally tailor my optics to hunting applications, but I really feel like this one shines in both a traditional hunting role as also a tactical role or a precision rifle role if you grab the right model. So I hope this gives you a ton of information about the new Tribe Optics brand at Optics Planet's website. And again, don't forget that code 704TAC for 5% off. And we will be reviewing the chassis soon. Probably just going to leave it on the table and talk about this chassis next. This thing was absolutely awesome and just completely changed this Savage bolt action. So we'll talk about that in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.